News break coming in on the Vivo scam. India Today is now unmasking the alleged kingpin of the scam that the Enforcement Directorate is looking into. Sources have told us here on India Today that the kingpin of the Vivo scam is a person named Bin Lo. This man was given the task of spreading the wings of Vivo throughout India. He is a common director of 23 companies in India that are involved in the distribution of Vivo phones. Bin Lo escaped out of India long back and hasn't returned since. So even as the Enforcement Directorate is conducting raids right now, it's suspected that the alleged kingpin has already fled India. So we're getting you details now of the alleged kingpin of the Vivo scam. This is a money laundering case that the Enforcement Directorate is looking into. 44 centers linked to Vivo have also been raided. Munish Pandey is joining us with more details on this. Munish, just explain to us, what is this alleged scam? Who is this kingpin? What his role was? We understand he's already fled India.
Yeah, well, Akshita, at this point of time, what we have been given to understand is that two of the directors of a firm connected to Vivo, Zhang Shenyu and Zhang Yi, these are the two directors of a firm connected to Vivo, and these people have fled India. Now, what we have been also given to understand is that after a complaint was filed by the Delhi police, the Enforcement Directorate lodged a money laundering case against these two firms which are connected to Vivo, and after that there was a raid conducted around 44 locations across India. But when these searches were being conducted, then ED found that these two suspects in the case, they have already fled. Now what we have been given to understand is that this complaint by the Delhi police was lodged in the month of December last year, and the moment this FIR was lodged, during the same period, these two people have fled from India. Now, at this point of time, it is not clear that what the quantum of this entire scam is, what the proceeds of crime is, but ED suspects that this runs into thousands of crores. And remember, Akshita, earlier also there was a crackdown on Xiaomi, Chinese mobile company, and now there is a crackdown on Vivo. So, apart from ED, the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, these are the two government departments who are keeping a close eye on what is happening with the Chinese companies, especially those who are involved into mobile business. But as far as Vivo is concerned, what ED is claiming that there is an involvement of certain Chinese nationals who were involved in money laundering, and this becomes a very important case not only for the Enforcement Directorate but also for the Indian government.
What does this mean, Munish, for the operations of Vivo? With this investigation currently underway, as you pointed out, the Enforcement Directorate, government, all of them are involved. Does this mean that there could be a halt on Vivo's operations in India?
Yeah, well, the entire operation is very fishy, Akshita, and what we have been also given to understand is that there is a person called Bin Lu. Now, this person is someone who came to India and he was involved in incorporating 23 entities in India. So he was the one who is said to be the kingpin of this entire scam, and now after these 23 companies were incorporated in India by him, he fled from India to China once again. So he was the one who, initially he was the one who made sure that these are the 23 shell companies, suspected shell companies, and after that there was involvement of two other Chinese nationals whose name I just mentioned, that they were the one who were connected to a firm which was into distribution of mobile, Vivo mobile phone in India. Now these two Chinese nationals were also in India, directors of a firm, but they fled in the month of December the moment the FIR by Delhi police was lodged. So as far as this entire case is concerned, these two people, Zhang Shenyu and Zhang Li, these two people are the one who impersonated, they are the one who forged the Indian documents, they forged the identity of a person, and they were on paper director of a company which was based in India and which was into distribution of Vivo mobile phone. So these two came under suspicion of the Enforcement Directorate. There was a communication between ED to Delhi police, after which an FIR was lodged in the month of December. But recently, a day before, when the searches were conducted at 44 locations across country, these two directors were not located. And then only ED learned that these two directors have fled from India and their documents are still in possession of Delhi police and the Enforcement Directorate, in which they not only forged documents but also impersonated their identity. Now why it becomes important, Akshita? Because on paper you are a completely different person, but at the very same time you are involved into money laundering. So it becomes a huge case, not only for ED but also for the Indian government.
There will also be questions on how they got away just in the nick of time. Was it some sort of a tip-off that these, heads of the Vivo India operations that this alleged Kingpin received, that they managed to flee out of India just as the investigation has kicked off? Munish, thanks for the moment for joining us with all of those details. Let's get you all the information you need to know about this crackdown on the Chinese smartphone manufacturer Vivo by the Enforcement Directorate. The EDs conducted raids on at least 44 Vivo centers across the country. A money laundering probe has been lodged under various sections of the PMLA, which deals with money laundering. Several Vivo distributors in India allegedly forged their identification documents. The ED suspects that these documents were forged to launder illegal funds using shell companies. The Vivo directors, allegedly Chinese nationals named Jie and Senshenu, may have fled the country after being untraceable during the search. While Vivo at this point has agreed to cooperate with the ED's investigation, the Chinese embassy in India, the spokesperson of the embassy, released a statement saying that a fair and just probe is expected. Not just that, the Chinese spokesperson also further stated that they are hopeful that the investigation will follow the rule of law.